The silk sheets whispered against Alexander Harrington's skin as he forced his breathing to slow. Eyes slitted just enough to watch the shadow creep closer. "Mr. Harrington, I know you're not asleep." Jamie's voice cracked like thunder in the quiet dawn, laced with a pain that sliced through the pretense. In his hand, a silver locket dangled, catching the first rays of sun. Inside, a photo that shattered Alex's world into a million unforgiving pieces. Alexander Harrington had built an empire on secrets. From the fog-shrouded hills of San Francisco, where tech startups bloomed like wildflowers after rain, he'd clawed his way to the top of Harrington Innovations, a conglomerate that powered half the Silicon Valley's dreams. At 52, with salt and pepper hair that women, and a few men in hushed boardroom whispers, called distinguished, Alex was the king of control. His Pacific Heights mansion, perched like a sentinel over the bay, was a fortress of glass and steel, every angle calculated to reflect his unassailable success. But beneath the marble floors and abstract Basquiats on the walls, cracks ran deep. Cracks named regret, isolation, and a love he'd buried 20 years ago. It started with the locket. Jamie Morales, the 25-year-old son of Alex's housekeeper Maria, had slipped into the master suite that morning like a ghost in the machine. Maria had been with the family. Well, with Alex, for 15 years, her quiet efficiency a balm to his chaotic life. She'd raised Jamie in the cramped Mission District apartment she shared with him and his sister, Elena, scraping by on wages that Alex supplemented with bonuses he never mentioned. Jamie was the artist of the trio, a barista by day at a hipster cafe in the Castro, sketching portraits of drag queens and tech bros alike by night. Openly gay, unapologetically vibrant, with that mop of chestnut curls and eyes like emeralds flecked with gold. Jamie was everything Alex had once dreamed of being. But trust? That was the currency Alex hoarded tighter than his stock options. Whispers had reached him through the grapevine of his executive assistant. Jamie, desperate for cash to fund his first gallery show, had been seen lingering too long in the study, eyes on the safe. Paranoia, perhaps, born of too many boardroom betrayals. Or maybe it was something deeper, a flicker of fear that Jamie's easy charm hid sharper edges. So Alex had staged it. Feigning a migraine after a late-night merger call, he'd collapsed into bed at 4 a.m., heart pounding not from illness but anticipation. The security cameras were off deliberately. This was personal. Lie still, watch, judge. Now, as the first blush of sunrise painted the bay in pinks and golds, Jamie knelt at the bedside, his faded Levi's brushing the Persian rug. The locket swung like a pendulum, and Alex's breath hitched for real. He recognized it instantly, the intricate filigree, the faint engraving on the back. To E, forever yours, Ethan. His Ethan, the man who'd been his North Star in the 90s. Back when AIDS shadowed every kiss and coming out meant career suicide. They'd met at a dive bar in the Tenderloin. Ethan, a struggling photographer with a laugh that cut through the smog. 5 years of stolen weekends in Big Sur cabins. Whispered promises under starlit skies. Then Ethan died. Overdose, the coroner said. But Alex knew it was the bottle chasing away the ghosts of rejection. The locket had been Ethan's. A gift from Alex on their last anniversary. He'd thought it lost forever, tossed in grief-fueled rage. Jamie flipped it open, the tiny photo catching the light. A younger Alex, arms wrapped around a grinning Ethan on a foggy beach, both shirtless and carefree, the kind of shot that screamed love in a pre-grinder world. "You don't have to hide anymore," Jamie murmured, his voice a raw edge of sorrow and steel. "He told me everything before said you'd understand one day. That you'd see me and remember." Alex's body went rigid, a statue under the duvet. Remember? The truth crashed over him like a rogue wave off Ocean Beach. Maria. She'd been Ethan's sister, not just some immigrant hire from Oaxaca. Ethan had begged Alex to look after her when the end came, to give her a job, a start. Alex had, numbly, burying the connection under layers of NDAs and non-disclosure clauses in his own heart. And Jamie? God, Jamie was Ethan's nephew, raised on stories of the uncle's best friend, who'd made the world a little less cruel. But why now? Why this? Jamie's fingers brushed the sheet, inches from Alex's hand, and for a heartbeat, Alex wanted to shatter the charade, to grab that wrist and pull him close, to drown in the echo of eyes that mirrored Ethan's fire. Instead, he held still, pulse thundering in his ears. Jamie sighed, a sound heavy with the weight of unspoken years, and set the locket on the nightstand with deliberate care. I wasn't gonna take anything, you know? Not your money, not your secrets. Just this, to give it back. To say I'm sorry for whatever I did to make you doubt me. He rose, shadow stretching long across the hardwood, and paused at the door. Ethan loved you, said you were the bravest man he ever knew. Funny how bravery looks a lot like fear up close. The door clicked shut, and Alex bolted upright, gasping like a man surfacing from depths. The locket burned in his palm as he snatched it, thumb tracing the photo's edges. Bravery, he'd built walls, not bridges. Fired lovers who got too close, dated women for the cameras. Trophy arm candy at galas, their laughter hollow echoes in his empty bed. And now this kid, this beautiful broken echo of his past, had cracked the facade with an heirloom and a handful of words. Downstairs, the clatter of Maria's breakfast prep filtered up, eggs sizzling in the pan like accusations. Alex dressed quickly, Armani slacks and a crisp Oxford that felt like armor. He needed air, needed the bite of the bay wind to clear his head. Slipping out the French doors to the terrace, he gripped the railing, staring at Alcatraz's silhouette against the awakening city. San Francisco, city of gold rushes and rainbow flags, where he'd hidden in plain sight for decades. The Castro's parades mocked him from afar, a riot of color he'd funded anonymously but never joined. His phone buzzed Victor Lang, his CFO and oldest friend, the one who'd buried Ethan's secrets with him. Meeting at 9, boss. That Morales kid still sniffing around? Heard he's got debts piling up. We talking security upgrade? Alex's jaw tightened. Victor, with his predatory smile and rumors of affairs that toppled competitors. Always the protector, or so Alex told himself. But doubt slithered in, cold as the morning mist. Was the whisper about Jamie his, or a plant to keep Alex isolated? He typed back, handle it, then deleted, firing off all good. See you there. By the time he descended to the kitchen, Maria was plating huevos rancheros, her dark hair pulled into a practical bun, lines of worry etched deeper than yesterday. Senor Alex, you look like you saw a ghost. Coffee? More than one, he muttered, forcing a smile. Jamie lounged at the island, sketching in a battered moleskine, his profile sharp against the window's glare. No acknowledgement, just the scratch of charcoal on paper, a portrait emerging of a man with haunted eyes. Alex? Morning, Alex said, voice steadier than he felt. Jamie glanced up, those green eyes locking like tumblers in a safe. No accusation, just a quiet challenge. Rough night. You could say that. Jamie closed the notebook, sliding it aside. Mom says you like your eggs over easy. Symbolic, maybe. Maria swatted his arm with a dish towel, chuckling in Spanish, but Alex caught the undercurrent, the protective glance she shot her son. Family, something he'd forfeited for fortune. The drive to the office was a blur of hybrid traffic and podcasts on AI ethics, ironies piling like fog. Harrington Tower loomed downtown, a monolith of mirrored glass reflecting the city's restless ambition. Victor waited in the lobby, all pressed suits and veneered teeth. Alex, my man, you okay? Look like you pulled an all-nighter chasing unicorns. Something like that. They rode the elevator in silence, the kind that bred confidences. At the top floor, the boardroom awaited, mahogany table, views of the Transamerica Pyramid spiking the sky. The merger with NeoVibe, a queer-owned startup pushing inclusive VR tech, was the crown jewel. Alex had championed it quietly, a nod to the community he'd ghosted. But as projections flickered on the screen, Victor leaned in. One snag, background on their lead dev ties to activists, could spook investors. And yours truly dug into that Morales situation. Kid's got a rap sheet for petty theft. Alex. From his teen years. You sure about keeping him around? The room spun. Petty theft? Jamie, with his artist's hands and Ethan's locket? Lies or half-truths twisted like San Francisco's crooked streets. Alex's fist clenched under the table. Drop it. Vic, focus on the deal. Victor smirked, but his eyes were sharks. Just watching your back. Like always. Lunch was a solitary affair at a waterfront bistro, clam chowder steaming in a sourdough bowl. A San Francisco staple that tasted like ash today. Alex's mind replayed the dawn scene on loop. Jamie's whisper, the locket's gleam. He pulled out his phone, Googling on impulse. Ethan Morales obituary 2004. There it was, faded newsprint scan. Brother to Maria, uncle to Jamie and Elena. A footnote. Beloved partner of an unnamed philanthropist. Alex, the ghost in the machine. By afternoon, resolve hardened. He texted Jamie, meet me at the De Young. 6 p.m. We need to talk. The museum, with its bold modern lines in Golden Gate Park, felt neutral ground, art as arbiter. Jamie arrived fashionably late, canvas sneakers scuffed from Castro cobblestones, a messenger bag slung over one shoulder. The exhibit was on queer icons. Mapplethorpe nudes, Warhol silkscreens of Basquiat. Jamie wandered ahead, pausing at a Keith Haring piece. Bold lines of embracing figures, defying the AIDS crisis that had claimed so many. You grew up hearing stories, Alex said, falling into step. No preamble. The air hummed with it. Jamie nodded, tracing the glass. Uncle Ethan was the family legend. The one who escaped the straitjacket, lived loud in a world that wanted him silent. Mom said he talked about you nonstop at the end. Alex is gonna change everything, he'd say. Tech for the people, not just the suits. Guess he was half right. Alex swallowed the lump in his throat. I tested you. This morning. Thought you might. I don't know, take something. Prove me right about people. Jamie's laugh was bitter fog. People like me? The helps queer kid. Always one step from the gutter. He turned, eyes blazing. I knew you were awake. Saw your chest rise wrong. But I get it. Power like yours? Paranoia's the tax. Not pity, understanding. It undid Alex more than accusation. They drifted to the sculpture garden. Eucalyptus scent mingling with bay salt. Benches dotted the lawn. Couples picnicking under the setting sun. Ethan gave me that locket the night we decided to go public, Alex confessed, voice low. With the company. He thought it'd force my hand. I chickened out. He left that night and never came back. Jamie finished, soft. Mom found the bottle. Blamed herself for not seeing the depression. Silence stretched, broken only by distant frisbee throws. Alex's hand found Jamie's on the bench, tentative, electric. Not Ethan, but close enough to haunt. Jamie didn't pull away. What now? He asked, thumb brushing knuckles. Now, we start honest. Alex's heart raced, a startup pitching to VCs. Dinner, my treat. No tests. Jamie's smile cracked the dusk. Deal. But if you fake sleep again, I'm drawing on your face. As they walked out, Golden Gate Bridge glowing like a promise, Alex felt the first thaw. But shadows lingered, Victor's smirk, the merger's fragility. Secrets once cracked, let in light. And monsters. The weeks blurred into a kaleidoscope of stolen moments, each one a line of code rewriting Alex's firewall. Dinners at Hidden Gems in North Beach. Pasta al pomodoro at a hole-in-the-wall where Sinatra once crooned. Evolved into late-night walks along the Embarcadero, fairy horns moaning like old jazz. Jamie's laugh became Alex's favorite algorithm, unpredictable and efficient, solving equations of loneliness he'd long ignored. At 30 years apart, they shouldn't have fit, but they did. Jamie's raw passion tempering Alex's calculated restraint, like a startup disrupting a legacy firm. Maria noticed, of course. Her knowing glances over morning cortados spoke volumes. A silent bienvenido to the family fold. Elena, Jamie's fierce sister, a lesbian attorney grinding at a nonprofit, vetted Alex over tacos one Sunday, her interrogation sharp as her bob haircut. Hurt him, and I'll sue you for emotional damages. Billionaire or not. Alex promised the moon, meaning it. Work, though, was a glitch in the matrix. The NeoVibe merger inched forward, but Victor's concerns multiplied like spam filters. Their founders got a history, protests at Oracle Arena back in the day. Anti-corporate chants. You want that stink on our books. Victor's office, a sterile cube of frosted glass, felt like an interrogation room. Alex waved it off, but doubt seeded. Late nights poring over due diligence. He'd catch Jamie's texts lighting his screen. Sketching you from memory. Spoiler, you're hotter in charcoal. A grin, a recharge. Then came the gala. The San Francisco Pride Foundation's annual black tie bash at the Palace of Fine Arts. Lagoons and colonnades lit like a fever dream. Alex attended as a sponsor, not a participant, check written, conscience eased. But Jamie insisted, go as my plus one. Or are you still playing pretend? The tuxedo felt like chains, but Jamie in slim-fit wool, bow tie askew, was liberation. They arrived arm in arm, paparazzi flashes popping like champagne corks. Whispers rippled. Harrington? With a guy? Alex's hand sweated in Jamie's, but the younger man's grip was iron. Breathe, they're just pixels. Inside, crystal flutes clinked amid rainbow banners, speeches on visibility hitting too close. A drag queen MC cracked jokes about tech moguls in closets. The crowd roared, Alex included. Then Victor appeared, champagne in hand, eyes narrowing at their linked arms. Alex, darling. Introducing the arm candy. His tone slithered, proprietary. Jamie Morales, Alex said, chin up. My partner. Victor's laugh was a glitch. Partner? As in? He trailed off, glancing at the donors milling like sharks. Bold move, but timing's shit. Board meeting tomorrow, investors jittery about the merger. This could tank perceptions. Jamie bristled, but Alex squeezed his hand. Perceptions change. So do boards. They danced later, under strings of lights, Jamie's head on Alex's shoulder to a remix of It's Raining Men. The world narrowed to heartbeats, the scent of Jamie's cedar cologne. You're doing it, Jamie murmured. Coming out. For real. For you, Alex replied, and meant the empire if it came to it. But betrayal brews in blind spots. The next morning, headlines screamed from Alex's tablet. Harrington heir to Pride? Tech Titan's secret romance rocks Silicon Valley. Blurry gala photos, speculation laced with venom. Is this a PR stunt for the queer merger? Or midlife crisis? His inbox exploded. Investor pullouts, board panic. Victor's email topped it. Told you. Damage control needed. Step down from lead on NeoVibe? Alex's hands shook as he dialed Jamie. It's out. All of it. Jamie's voice, steady. Good. Let em talk. We're real. But reality bit harder. At the emergency board meeting, suits circled like vultures. This personal drama undermines confidence. The chairwoman droned, her Botox mask impassive. Share prices dipped 3% overnight. Victor played the hero. I tried to warn him. Discretion's our brand. Lies. Alex saw it now. The whispers about Jamie's theft. The planted doubts. Victor, who'd known about Ethan, who'd profited from Alex's isolation. A quick sidebar with legal confirmed it. Victor had tipped a tabloid stringer, anonymous source with insider access. Betrayal, cold and corporate. You son of a bitch, Alex hissed post-meeting, cornering Victor in the exec lounge. Bay views mocked them, fairies dotting the water like escaped prisoners. Victor's shrug was silk. Protecting the company, Alex. You were distracted, moonlit walks with the help? It's unbecoming. And that merger? NeoVibe's a risk. I found emails. Their CEOs pushing for equity audits that'll bleed us dry. Or threaten your kickbacks from competitors? Alex had hired a PI that morning, old-school gumshoe from the Fillmore. Dirt on Victor. Offshore accounts. Leaked rival bids. You're done. Security's waiting. Victor's face twisted, ugly under the fluorescence. You'll regret this. I know things about Ethan, the cover-up. How you paid off Maria to stay quiet. One call, and your humanistic empire crumbles. The threat landed like a gut punch. Alex's vision tunneled. Ethan's death, officially accident, but whispers of negligence, of Alex's resources buying silence on the autopsy. Not true, but mud sticks. Get out, Alex growled. Victor slunk away, but the poison spread. That night, Jamie found him on the terrace, scotch in hand, city lights blurring through unshed tears. Hey, cowboy, rough day. Alex handed him the glass. You don't know the half. Victor, he used you, used us, to keep me in line. Jamie's jaw set. Then we fight. Together. They did. Lawyers swarmed. PR spun the narrative. Harrington stands for authenticity. Share prices rebounded. Neovibe inked with concessions that honored its roots. VR therapy for queer youth, funded by Alex's foundation. Victor vanished to a consulting gig in Dubai, his empire's crumbs. But victory tasted bittersweet. Paranoia lingered, a shadow code. One evening, post-merger toast at a Soma rooftop, Jamie pulled Alex aside. I need to tell you something, before this goes deeper. Alex's stomach nodded. Another test. The locket? It wasn't just Ethan's keepsake. Inside the photo's backing, there's a letter. He wrote it for you, about forgiving yourself. Jamie pressed it into his palm, eyes soft. Read it. Then decide if you still want this, want me. Alone in the mansion, Alex pried the backing free, yellowed paper unfolding like a time capsule. My Alex, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But you're not. Don't let the suits steal your soul. Love like ours? It's the revolution. Find it again. For me. Tears blurred the ink. Forgiveness. Not from Jamie, but from the ghost who'd never left. He called Jamie at dawn. I'm all in. Summer deepened, their rhythm syncing like synced iPhones. Weekends in Napa, Cabernet tastings under oak canopies, Jamie's head in Alex's lap as they stargazed. But conflict simmered domestic now. Jamie's art career stalled, gallery rejections piling like unread emails. I'm a fraud, he confessed one night, charcoal-smudged fingers twisting sheets. Ethan's shadow's too long. What if I'm just chasing his ghost? You're not, Alex insisted, kissing his temple. You're the future. Yet doubt festered. Elena warned over family barbecue. He's scared, Alex, of losing you to the boardroom again. Maria nodded, her silence eloquent. The climax brewed in autumn, leaves turning the Presidio gold. Victor resurfaced, not in flesh but digital venom. A leaked dossier hit dark web forums, fabricated emails proving Alex's involvement in Ethan's death, payoffs to Maria, Jamie as a gold digger plant. Stocks tanked 15%, protests erupted outside Harrington Tower, queer activists picketing, signs reading tech for all, not lies. Jamie confronted him in the eye of the storm, rain lashing the windows. Is any of it true? The cover-up? Alex's world fractured. No, but it looks bad. I paid Maria to relocate, to protect her from questions. From him. He jabbed at the screen, Victor's ghost. Jamie's face crumpled. Protection or control? I can't be your redemption arc, Alex. Not if it means more secrets. The door slammed, echo deafening. Betrayal reversed. Jamie's, in walking away. Alex's, in clinging to control. San Francisco's rains came biblical that October, sheets of gray turning the city into a watercolor smear. Alex paced the mansion's echoing halls, the dossier's poison seeping into every call, every glance from staff who'd once been invisible. Maria moved like a specter, her shifts shortened by Elena's decree. Give him space, Mama. He's poisoned now. Jamie's absence was a void. His sketches gone from the fridge. Cologne faded from the guest room pillow. Alex slept in the master alone. Locket clutched like a talisman. Ethan's words mocking. Find it again. The board demanded blood. Suspend operations on the foundation. The chairwoman urged via Zoom, her face a pixelated mask. PR nightmare. Investors are fleeing to safer bets. Zuckerberg's latest metaverse play. No, Alex barked, voice hoarse from sleepless nights. This is who we are. Authentic. Flawed. but the word tasted like failure. Victor's handiwork was surgical. Forged timestamps on emails, blurred bank transfers linking Alex to hush money, legally airtight, ethically eviscerating. His PI confirmed the source, Victor's burner laptop, traced to a Cayman hideout. Revenge simmered, but grief choked it. Jamie's voicemail unreturned. I need time. Don't make me choose between love and truth. Truth. The one commodity Alex had rationed like bandwidth. He drove to the mission that weekend, wipers slapping rhythm against the downpour. Maria's building, a faded Victorian squeezed between Ticarius, buzzed with life. Salsa from an open window, kids splashing puddles. She answered the buzzer, apron dusted in flour, eyes wary. Senor, he know here. I know. Alex dripped on the stoop. Can we talk? About Ethan. Her sigh was a gale. Inside, the apartment was a shrine to resilience. Saints on shelves, Jamie's childhood drawings thumbtacked to walls. Over a toll in mismatched mugs, Maria unfolded the tale. Hermano mio was fire. You were his oxygen. When he go, I hate you a little. For not saving him. Her English fractured, but pain was universal. But then you give me job, home for Ms. Hios. Jamie. He idolized the stories. Tio's prince. He call you. Now, he broken. Thinks he your regret. Like Ethan. Alex's throat closed. I love him. Not as Echo. As Jamie. She touched his hand, calluses rough as truth. Then prove. No more kings. Be man. Elena burst in later. Raincoat shedding like molted skin. Laptop under arm. What the hell, Alex? You show up now? After ghosting his calls. Firebrand. All edges and justice. But she softened at Maria's nod. Fine. Truce. I've been digging Victor's sloppy. Metadata on those emails traces to his VPN. We sue, we expose. But Jamie? He's at the gallery tonight. First show. Go. Apologize with actions. The DeYoung again, irony looping like a viral tweet. Jamie's exhibit. Echoes unsilenced. Portraits of queer San Franciscans, raw and radiant. Alex slipped in late, crowd murmuring approval. There. Jamie on stage, curls tamed, button-down rolled to elbows. This work. It's for the ghosts we carry. Lovers lost, truths buried. But also for the living. For second chances. His eyes found Alex in the throng, held. No warmth, but no ice. After, in the sculpture garden. Rain paused, stars peeking. Jamie leaned against a bronze figure, arms crossed. You came. Wouldn't miss it. Alex extended the locket, repaired, a new engraving. To J, forever ours E and A. Ethan would approve. Jamie's fingers trembled taking it. It's not enough. The dossier, it's killing you. Us. Then let's kill it. Alex outlined Elena's plan. Countersuit, public mea culpa. Victor's empire of lies ends. Mine. Rebuilds with you. No more tests. No more pretending. The kiss was monsoon. Desperate. Devouring. Rain starting anew as thunder rolled off the bay. Jamie's hands fisted Alex's shirt, pulling him under an awning, breaths mingling like fog. I walked because I was scared of loving someone who might choose power over me. I choose you. Alex's voice broke, raw as exposed wire. Every glitch, every crash. They tumbled into reconciliation, bodies aligning in the downpour's rhythm. But emotion, not flesh, bound them. Back at the mansion, Maria waiting with tamales and a knowing smile, they plotted by firelight. Elena drafted filings, her laptop glowing like a beacon. Dawn brought warrants. Victor's extradition looming, his accounts frozen. But climax crests in chaos. Midweek, as countersuit news broke, Harrington fights back. CFO's betrayal exposed. Victor struck last. A live stream from his Cayman bolt hole. Face gaunt. Eyes wild. Lies! Alex Harrington's the monster. Ethan's death? He pushed him, stress, neglect. I have proof. Fabricated video clip. Grainy footage of Alex arguing with Ethan years ago, looped to imply violence. Then the gut-wrencher. And Jamie? Groomed. The Morales kid's been playing him since day one. Gasps echoed in Alex's war room, screens multiplying the horror. Jamie, beside him, went ashen. Groomed? That's my life he's twisting. The internet ignited, trolls, allies, a maelstrom. Protests swelled outside the tower. Now a mix. Supporters waving pride flags, skeptics chanting cover-up. Alex's phone rang off. Elena? It's defamation gold. But optics? Toxic. Bored. Resign, Alex. Save the ship. He refused, but fracture lines deepened. Jamie pulled away that night, eyes shadowed. What if there's truth in the mud? You hired Mom knowing. Tested me. Am I just convenient? No. Alex cupped his face, desperate. You're the code I didn't know I needed. But Jamie left for Elena's. Space demanded like oxygen. Alone, Alex confronted the abyss. Ethan's letter burned in his pocket. Forgive yourself. He called oppressor, impromptu, raw, on the terrace with Bay as backdrop. Ladies, gentlemen, trolls. He began, voice steady despite the quake. Camera's word. I've lived half a life in shadows. Loved a man who deserved the sun. Failed him, failed myself. Victor's lies? They're the symptom, not the disease. But Jamie Morales? He's my heart, and I'll fight for him. For us. Not with money, with truth. Viral in minutes, shares spiking like stocks. Allies mobilized. Queer influencers debunking the clip. Elena's filings unsealed. Victor's stream? Hacked, exposed as deepfake AI glitches giving him away. Jamie returned at midnight, soaked, eyes red. Saw the presser. Stupid, brave man. Forgive me, Alex whispered. Jamie pulled him close. Already did. But next time we face storms together. No solos. Climax broke like fever. Victor arrested at LAX, extradited in cuffs, his web unraveling in court. Alex testified, voice cracking on Ethan's name. The room hushed. Jamie in the gallery, hand on his knee under the table, a silent we. But humanism tempers triumph. Post-trial, shares stabilized, but scars lingered. NeoVibe launched, VR worlds where users walked in other skins, queer stories, immigrant tales, Ethan's photos digitized for eternity. Alex stepped back from CEO, board chair emeritus, time freed for canvas and Cabernet. One evening, Golden Gate Park picnic, Maria's empanadas, Elena's wine. Jamie sketched them all, lines fluid as bay tides. This, he said, capping charcoal, is the truth. Messy, real. Alex kissed his temple. Our revolution. Winter softened San Francisco's edges, holiday lights twinkling like errant code in the fog. Alex's life recalibrated. No longer a solo server farm, but a network. Nodes linking Maria's kitchen wisdom, Elena's fierce advocacy, Jamie's creative pulse. The mansion, once a sterile vault, bloomed. Jamie's easel in the sunroom, half-finished portraits of bay sunsets. Elena's law books stacked on the library table during strategy sessions for her nonprofit. Even the terrace, site of so many solitary scotches, hosted barbecues. Neighbors from Pacific Heights mingling with mission poets. Boundaries blurred like city fog. The trial's aftermath rippled outward. Victor's sentencing, 5 years for fraud, defamation, made headlines, but Alex shunned the spotlight, channeling energy into the Ethan Morales Foundation. Grants for queer artists, mental health pods in Castro clinics. Legacy, Jamie called it one night, curled against him on the sofa, Brokeback Mountain flickering on the screen. A film they'd watched in fits, tears sinking with Jake Gyllenhaal's. Not just atonement. Evolution. Alex traced Jamie's jaw, stubble rough under fingertips. You make me better code. But humanism demands shadows for light. Doubts resurfaced in quiet hours. Jamie's, in gallery silences. Alex's, in bored whispers of that scandal. A near miss came in December. Investor dinner at Gary Danko, foie gras and Bordeaux flowing. A venture capitalist, face flushed, cornered Alex. Heard about the boyfriend. Cute stunt, but mergers like Neovibe? Risky with personal entanglements. The slur hung unspoken. Alex's fork clattered. Entanglements? That's love, you dinosaur. And it's why we innovate, for everyone, not your echo chamber. Jamie, across the table, met his eyes. Pride, not pity. Later, in the limo home, he laughed. Dinosaur? Harsh, but hot. Homecomings evolved. Jamie's key on the ring. A ceremony over Pozole. Maria toasting a La Familia Ampliata. Yet conflict lingered, subtle as seismic tremors. Jamie's big break. A solo show at SMOMA loomed, pressure mounting. What if they see Ethan's ghost, not me? He'd mutter, pacing the studio, brushes abandoned. Alex learned patience, not fixes. Then they see both. You're his echo and your own symphony. Betrayal's ghost visited once more, in spring. An anonymous email. Victor's jailhouse confession tape, smuggled out. Tell Alex. Sorry. He was right. Ethan's death broke us both. I envied his light, so I dimmed his. Grainy footage, Victor's eyes hollow. No bombshells, just regret. A mirror to Alex's own. He shared it with Jamie over Big Sur weekend. Cabin rented like old times with Ethan. Ocean roared below, waves carving cliffs. Envy's a thief, Jamie said. Locket around his neck glinting. Stole Victor's soul. Almost stole ours. They hiked Pfeiffer Beach, purple sands crunching underfoot, hands clasped against the wind. At the keyhole arch where sea framed infinity, Jamie knelt. Not proposal, but promise. I froze that morning, too, seeing you pretend. Thought I'd shatter the illusion, but you let me in. Marry me? Not for show. For us. Alex's knees buckled. Yes, tumbling out in laughter tears. No ring yet. Just the locket, pass back, now there's. Wedding planning wove the city into their tapestry. Vows at the De Young, under Jamie's exhibit lights. Reception in the Castro, food trucks and flash mobs. Maria walked Jamie down the aisle, her dress embroidered with Oaxacan motifs. Elena officiated, voice cracking on in sickness and health, in glitches and grace. Honeymoon in Napa, but not escape. Volunteering at vineyard charities, hands dirty in soil, toasting sunsets with cabs that tasted of second acts. Back home, life layered. Jamie's SMOMA triumph, reviews hailing a fresh queer voice, resonant with history yet unbound. Alex's foundation expanding, VR pods in tenderloin shelters, stories of survival digitized. Years folded like origami. A adopted kid from the Castro, little Mateo, joining the fold. Jamie's sketches his bedtime tales. Alex's gadgets his toys. Maria retired to a cottage in Half Moon Bay. Elena rising to partner. Her wife a barista with a killer latte art. One dawn, 5 years on, Alex woke to Jamie's sketchpad open. Their family? Bay beyond, lines bold and true. The truth we froze for? Jamie murmured, kissing his shoulder. Alex smiled, no pretense. Worth every crack. In San Francisco's endless reinvention. Earthquakes, booms, fogs lifting. Their love stood, humanistic anchor. Flawed, fierce, forever.